Today, we're holding people accountable. For months, you guys have been sending me your edits, sliding into my DMs, commenting, rate my edit. So fine, I watched them. And honestly, some of you guys need help. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm reacting to the edits you sent me and giving you honest feedback. Not the fake, oh this is fire, with the fire emojis. I mean the real reaction. The one I have when I'm by myself watching an edit with no camera on. Did you really think I wasn't gonna notice that you stole parts of my edits? Now before any of you get offended, I'm not here to bully anyone. I was a terrible editor once too. Everybody starts somewhere, but I am going to tell you when something doesn't work, why it doesn't work, and how to fix it. And if your edits are genuinely good, I'll say that too. We're ranking everything today on a tier list. So by the end of this video, we'll find out who can actually edit and who's been getting lied to by their friends. So with that being said, let's see what you guys can actually do. This first edit actually kind of surprised me because after seeing some of your submissions, my expectations were not high at all. Holy, that was clean. This is the kind of edit I can watch on loop for hours. Like, you know, when you save that one edit and you just rewatch it like 6 or 7 times, this is one of those edits. The crazy part is most people watching won't even be able to tell why it feels so satisfying to watch. But that's exactly what makes it so good, because a lot of editors try to impress you by throwing every possible effect on the screen. And at some point your brain just goes, alright bro, I get it. It's kind of like trying to read a book with a lot of very complex words. You kind of end up being overwhelmed after one page. This edit is the exact opposite. Everything here has a purpose, which is why everything hits harder. There was 2 specific standout parts for me. First, the text. It's not in your face at all, but once you notice it, you can tell there's a lot of thought behind it. The font, the color, the animations, all just match the style perfectly. And secondly, the motion graphics. Bro, they just look so cool, but the best part, they actually feel like part of the edit, instead of just being slapped on top for no reason. Even the transitions are super clean. You can barely notice them, which is exactly the point. So, where does this land on the tier list though? Honestly, this was really close to S tier, but even though it's super polished, it didn't really make me feel anything emotionally, which is important because later in this video, you'll see an edit that is technically less impressive, but hits way harder. So, for now, this goes in the A tier, which is a really strong start, meaning statistically, it's probably all downhill from here. Speaking of downhill, this next edit genuinely confused me. Like, there's no way this person didn't think I would notice.
Turns out, I'm not gonna be a pirate.
Now that's my boy, you finally get it.
I'll be way cooler than any pirate. I'll be king of the pirates!
Are we dead ass right now? Did you really think I wasn't gonna notice that you stole parts of my edits? And not just one either. You took parts from like 3 different edits, put them together with some original parts in between, and then submitted it for a reaction. On camera. This is like copying someone else's homework, then giving it to the exact same person to mark it. Like, what was the plan here? That I would just forget that my own edits existed? Like, wow bro, this looks so familiar, but I can't quite place it. Jokes aside though, you're probably young, maybe you don't have the best resources to make an edit you're actually proud of, so you copied stuff thinking nobody would notice. I get it, but stealing edits is genuinely one of the worst things you can do. Not only because other editors will call you out on it, but because you will learn absolutely nothing from it. It's like using cheats in a video game. Sure, you might have a better score, but you're not actually improving. And honestly, making your own edits, even if they suck, feels way more rewarding than reposting someone else's edit for views. So as for the tier list, yeah, this goes in the F tier. Alright, moving on, and please let this one be original.
Stress in my face, what? Yeah, no face, 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 no fake, no face, no face.
Okay, that was decent. This edit definitely has potential. The song and the style fit the clips pretty well, and the effects are flashy without going too overboard. So the foundation is solid. This is kind of like food that looks good on the plate, but once you actually taste it, you realize the seasoning is a little off. Nothing is completely broken, it's just a bunch of smaller issues stacking on top of each other. And the biggest issue, in my opinion, is the lack of sound effects. And even if you know nothing about editing, you can feel there's something missing. It's like watching a fight scene in an action movie on mute. And to show you exactly what I mean, I added some quick sound effects to the edit.
No face, 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 no face.
That only took me like 10 minutes, and you can already feel how much more alive this is. So yeah, SFX matter a lot. Another problem is the lack of impact. The song you used has some strong bass, so the shakes need to match that energy as well. But right now they kind of feel a little too weak, which makes the edit lose a lot of its punch. The transitions are pretty nice, but some of the clips don't really flow into each other very well. And there's some small effects issues too, like the eye glow tracking is slightly off, and this overlay disappears awkwardly. Small details, but these are the kind of things that take an edit from decent to polished. So on the tier list, I'm putting it at B, because the potential is definitely there, but it gets held back by the execution and the sound effects. If you fix those things, your edit could easily move up a tier. Speaking of sound effects, finding the right ones that actually match your clips is genuinely one of the most annoying parts of editing, which is exactly why I partnered with Ace Studios for today's video. Using Ace Studio, you can just drop in your video, the AI actually watches your footage, analyzes everything, then generates sound effects that match your exact clips, not just random sound effects slapped on top. And the best part, it doesn't just give you one big audio file. Every sound effect gets edited as its own clip on the timeline, so you can still move things around, cut them, or adjust the volume. You stay in control. It just handles the most annoying parts for you. So if you ever spend hours trying to find out one sound that matches the vibe, yeah, it does that too. If you wanna check it out, the link will be in the description. Anyways, moving on to the next edit. It's titled, well, you can read for yourself, which I guess we'll see. Yeah, I can absolutely believe that this was made on a phone. And before everyone gets mad, I'm not saying it because phone editing equals bad. After my last video where I had editors on different softwares edit the exact same clips, it's pretty obvious that you can make really good edits on mobile. Is it harder? Yeah, definitely. But at this point, it's not really an excuse anymore. So I'm judging it the same as every other edit. And honestly, the idea is pretty solid. It's not the most original concept. I've definitely seen other Gojo edits with that song, but that's not really the issue. The execution is where it really falls apart. The first thing I noticed is the shakes. Maybe the reason the last edit had zero impact is because this one stole all of it for itself. It's kind of like turning the bass up on a speaker so loud that the actual music starts distorting. The shakes are just so strong that it actually makes the transition look stiffer than they are, which is a shame because the transitions themselves are actually pretty nice, especially for mobile. It also doesn't help that the clip selection feels very random. It's kind of like you just grabbed every cool Gojo clip you could find and put it on the timeline randomly. Lastly, the quality of the edit is also holding it back a lot. Some parts just look very compressed and blurry, which makes all the effects and the movements even messier. So I'm going to have to put this edit in the C tier. It's not bad, but there's just too many things going against it. With that being said, this is the last edit of the video, and if I'm being honest, this one has something that none of the other edits today had. The other edits all felt like somebody was trying to make a good edit, but this one, it feels like the editor was trying to make a good story.
You really are as strong as they say. In fact, you'd make one hell of an army general. But it makes me wonder why a warrior who's so mighty would want to hide away in Iceland.
The reason I rely on a weapon like this is because I'm weak. One who's a great warrior doesn't need a sword.
Heard some shit. Find a wife, have a kid. You don't have enemies. Where is your sword?
Yeah, that's the one. And I want to explain exactly why, without getting too nerdy on you guys. Because on paper, this edit definitely has flaws. I would even say it's not as polished as the first edit we watched. The basics are done well, but it is a little rough around the edges. And yet, this is the one edit that actually made me feel something while watching it. And that matters way more than people realize. It's the same thing that separates a movie that's good to a movie that you'd remember for years. It's not about how expensive it looks, or if they use the most popular actors. It's whether it makes you feel something, and this edit does. It has a story, it has emotion, you can just feel the passion from the editor throughout every single frame. Which sounds kinda corny, but it's true. Now, getting into a little bit of nerdy stuff, the creative transitions this guy used in the edit genuinely impressed me. Like, I'm definitely gonna steal some of those ideas. The clips flow into each other in a way that feels intentional. Each scene was chosen for a reason, instead of just looking cool. Now, okay, this specific clip, I don't really think fits that well, but compared to everything else, it's not that big of a deal. You can teach someone transitions, sound effects, color grading, but making someone actually feel something, that's the hard part. That being said, the reason it works so well is because the technical side is still solid enough to support the emotion. Because if the editing itself was messy, all the feeling behind it would have gotten lost. Luckily, that's not the case here, which is why even people who know nothing about editing can still feel when an edit has real emotions to it. And clearly, a lot of people felt the same way watching this. As for the tier list, this is S tier. Not because it's the most flawless edit we watched today, it's not, but because I'm actually going to remember this edit after this video ends. Or maybe I'm just biased because I like that song and anime. On that note though, if you submitted your edit and you're not in the video, it's not because your edit was bad. Well, maybe, but mostly there was just way too many submissions. So if you actually want guaranteed feedback, check out my editing course. Students can send me their edits directly and get real feedback instead of guessing what they're doing wrong. So if that sounds interesting to you, the link will be in the description. Let me know down in the comments which edit was your favorite, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.